What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about EUDA Health. I want to go over some of the recent developments from this company and why you need to add this to your watch list. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, it does trade under the NASDAQ, ticker is EUDA, and I'm going to also have a link to their website in the description below for you to kind of pop over there, take a look at. It does have a lot of good information. But starting off, what does EUDA Health actually do? They are a Singapore-based digital healthcare platform that does aim at making healthcare more affordable, accessible, and also improves the patient experience by delivering enhanced outcomes through personalized healthcare. So generally fairly good, and I've covered kind of similar companies on my channel in the past, and they are in a very profitable sector. But more specifically, what recently came out for this company is that they did sign a letter of intent to merge with TheoremRx, which is a private US-based company focused on the development of new treatments to benefit patients suffering from cancer and women's health conditions. So one thing definitely that is kind of untapped essentially is women's health. There's a lot of stats out there to really justify that. And as well, definitely it is estimated to just continue to grow more and more. So they are moving in the right direction with this whole merger. But just to give you a little bit more of a backstory with TheoremRx, basically they do identify promising drug candidates and take them through the early stages of clinical trials before advancing them to partnerships and licensing agreements with global pharmaceutical companies. So of course, just kind of cuts out the middleman essentially, makes things generally easier. But TheoremRx does also have a strong access to capital, and given this market condition right now is very needed. But they also do offer a low risk and high potential pipeline model designed to reduce clinical risk and time to value. TheoremRx does also focus on new indications of FDA approved drugs, which does help reduce clinical risk and speeds up the whole regulatory process, which of course does equate to more money. But in its pipeline, TheoremRx is currently developing 4 compounds, of which 2 are currently at the clinical trial stage, while 2 are at the preclinical trial stage. So definitely fairly good stuff there, and as well with its link to or access to capital makes things a little bit easier. But these projects address high demand unmet therapeutic areas in women's health and oncology with near-term inflection points in around 18 to 24 months. But ultimately, this merger does have the potential to create a lot of value for both shareholders, so EUDA and also TheoremRx. And in TheoremRx pipeline in oncology and women's health unlocks access to global markets exceeding 16 billion in annual sales, with multiple achievement, clinical, and financial inflection points to be reached by the second half of 2024. So when it comes down to it as well, this is a win-win for both companies. Especially more so EUDA, as TheoremRx management team does have a strong relationship with investors and does expect its project to generate significant news, which will obviously add a little bit more visibility essentially to this whole merger. And like I said, especially with the challenging market that we are in right now, having access to capital is going to help both companies succeed. And so this merger is moving in the right direction and a very profitable one as well, as I've indicated. So there's a lot of stats out there obviously to really justify that, just to show that essentially that both companies are kind of in a very untapped market per se to some extent, and which does equate to a lot of profitability. So let me know your thoughts on this company. What stood out to you? If you're interested, I can definitely do follow-up videos if you are interested more specifically on the stock performance, technicals and stuff like that. But this letter of intent is very, very good for the company. So highly recommend you popping over to their website, taking a look at it, because like I mentioned, it does have a lot of good information. So with all that said, I appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that.